One thing I wanted to react to is I guess the normal person response to the death of Charlie Kirk, which I'm gonna use Pat McAfee as my normal person avatar here, right? The slightly overweight, white middle-aged male who spends 95% of his waking moments thinking about football while drinking beer. Being a little bit facetious here, but Pat McAfee is, I think, a really good example of just like a normal American. And I think this is probably going to do a really good job of encapsulating the average American reaction to this news of what took place.
You pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice.
This is a legendary intro, by the way. I do love this intro. It's obviously the music, but it's fantastic. The chants are cool too.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this NFL Week 2 kickoff Thursday, September 11th, 2025. This program begins now. Football is happening on this September 11th, 2025, and I am an old man, and I happen to be at an age of memory and remembering whatever September 11th, 2001 took place 24 years ago. I was in high school, and obviously it was a devastating day. It was a crazy day. It changed this world mightily, not just here, but obviously around the globe as a whole. And what I remember about that, and we will never forget all the lives that were lost and all the badasses that ran towards fire and buildings collapsing, and the heroes that stepped up amongst us in the middle of the crazed, terrible chaos that was taking place in our biggest city. And then I'm from Pittsburgh. There was a plane that went down outside of our city, and then obviously the Pentagon had a plane hit it as well, and it was just a bunch of news, and it was crazy. I don't think any of us fully understood what was happening, but I do remember on September 12th, 2001, it felt like our entire country, no matter what you believed, no matter where you were from, we were all together as one. We're unified more than I think I've ever witnessed in my entire 38 years of existing. And I think that is something that a lot of people that were able to live through it, who believe in the good of people instead of the bad of people, we hope that we'll be able to get to that level of unification in our society at some point yet again. It's almost like we're chasing that in hopes that we can be I don't want to say everybody has to get along and everybody has to agree, but at least we can move forward without hating each other, which is seemingly what social media...
I talked about this early in the stream. It's kind of a shame that he doesn't think that America can just get along. Isn't it? Like, whenever I hear like acts of violence or whatever, even I will say this. It's like, but generally the reaction will be, oh man, can't we just get along? Can't we just get to a place where we are coexisting happily and peacefully with one another? Holding each other's hands while jogging in the plains. Like Care Bears. That is the utopia that we picture, right? When we're saying like, what's the best that things could possibly look like on Earth? And I am a little humorous, but I'm being a little bit serious as well. Like, that is kind of what we want to see as Americans, I would hope, or at least the majority of normal Americans want, is for there to be peace, unity, and for people to get along. And it's a shame that he feels like we can't even get along. I think it sort of does show where our country is at right now, because this is, remember, I'm using him as my normal person avatar here, right? Using him an example of what a normal person is going to be responding to this with.
And everybody has to agree, but at least we can move forward without hating each other, which is seemingly what social media has done to us in a way that I don't know if anybody could have predicted whenever we thought that the entire world should be connected in the palm of their hands. Now, it feels like there's a lot of people that get satisfaction as being known as the most something, the most this, the most that. And whenever people try to compete on who's the meanest to the other side of the aisle, I think you're going to inevitably run into some chaos happening in our world. And I am not a politics person. I've been dropped into the political world a couple different times by my own mistakes, but also because of my own opinions. And it's a blender over there. And to be a person that wants to go in and stand on your beliefs and try to change the world and have the courage to do so, and also welcome and embrace debate in that world with how much anger there is, I think is a pretty admirable trait to have. So,
I mean, I would say that the Charlie Kirk is an American hero for specifically making the work that he has done to make conservatives feel more comfortable at colleges and universities across the country. Like, look, we all know that college attendance is down across the board right now, but I think that colleges would be in an even worse position without Charlie Kirk, because I think you would have a lot of conservatives, and that means especially a lot of Christians, just refusing to go to college because the allure of, oh, you can just, go to the trades or you can skip college or whatever, is going to be that much sweeter when you know that you're going to a college and there's going to be a hostile environment. So, I think that Charlie Kirk has done America a great service with the work that he's done throughout his life.
Although I did not know Charlie Kirk, I certainly saw his clips from afar. I thought he was a crazy person for embracing and welcoming the interactions that he wanted on the topics that he believed so mightily in. But the funny thing is, like, I didn't follow Charlie Kirk super closely in recent years, but in the wake of his death, I'm seeing lots of clips of people actually coming to Charlie Kirk with that sentiment, being like, man, aren't you afraid you're going to get attacked? This girl tried to steal your hat this one time. Have you been afraid that someone might try to steal your life? And Charlie Kirk was like, no, I'm standing on business. And that is, like Pat McAfee is saying, you're extremely admirable. I also believe that he believed in what he was doing was making the world better. And I think the people that are willing to hear the other side and maybe extend a hand and maybe change their own opinion are the people that we should be modeling ourselves after. I am not always right. I am a doofus. I am an idiot that talks about sports, but I love hearing other people's ideas on things. Now, I am not in the politics world, and I know there's much more serious things out there, but in the sports lane that I live in, it is nice to hear the other side. So when I learned of Charlie Kirk on the internet, and once again, I did not meet him, I did not know him personally, I thought it was admirable to hear somebody who was so firm in their own beliefs but wanted to hear why other people were against him. So yesterday, whenever we see a public execution of this man happen in all of our palms of our hands in real time, you can't help but wonder, damn, first of all, he has a family, he has kids, but also, are we a society that's really going to become that? Is that who we are? Is that what we're going to be, just strictly because we think that we're better than the other side? It's become a wild time, I think, in our existence, and hopefully yesterday was a pivotal moment for us on this September 11th, 2025, to maybe have a September 12th, 2001 moment. So that's my thoughts, positive vibes, prayers to his family and friends that have been there, but also I hope to our entire society, like, yo, you can disagree with people. You can disagree with people, and you don't have to hate them or have disdain for them forever. Everybody has different backgrounds. I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Somebody that grew up in Miami or South Florida is going to have different views on, I would assume. Somebody that grew up in Compton, California, who I've had a chance and opportunity to hang around and get to know people, probably have a little bit of a different view on things than maybe people that grew up in Columbus, Ohio. I mean, we're never going to all agree, but we all have to exist. And we might as well try to shake the hand and hear from the other side more so than try to fight them every single time. And I think even though you might not have believed in or felt the same way that Charlie Kirk felt about a lot of things, and I'm not saying anybody on this set agrees with everything that anybody believes in this whole world, we can't just hate people forever because we disagree with one thing or two things that they feel. We got to move forward. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Our jobs are to distract people from the real world and kind of make
but then he moves on to his sports talk, as he should. He is a sports commentator. But I thought that was a really good reaction. I think that if you want to look at how the majority of Americans are looking at the situation right now in the United States of America, they may be scared. They may be frightened. They may think that, there's more violence headed our way, and for all we know, there might be. But I think when it comes to what they want to see in America, when it comes to what the majority of Americans want to see in America, it lines up exactly with what Pat is saying. We want peace, we want unity, we want to be able to just spend time with each other, and not allow politics to tear us apart. So, great on Pat McAfee for covering this. I didn't know that he would speak about this. I tuned into it live to see if he would say anything. I was pleasantly surprised by what he had to say, with both the mixture of eloquence, verbosity, in depth, especially for him. He tends to. I would not go to him for political commentary. Let's just put it that way. His ball knowledge is with ball, okay? But it was really great to hear him speak on Charlie Kirk that way. So good on Pat. That was really nice to see.